Morning, guys. We are coffee in my beard. You can tell it's morning. But we are headed to do a tractor retrieval, and hopefully will it run today, maybe the next few days. This might be an ongoing process. But conveniently, the tractor is only 1.5 miles from our farm on a piece of ground that Dad has farmed for probably 40, if not 50 years now, and had helped farm long before that. Tractor been local to Almena its whole life, which is one of my favorite things, is local tractors. So I hopped in my pickup this morning, and we're gonna go up there and air up the tires on it and see what it's gonna take to get it out of the shed. I'm pretty excited about this tractor. I don't believe I even have the tractor bought yet, but I was told I could work on it. We've been farming for the current owner for a good many years, probably 20 plus. We farmed for his parents before then, or grandparents, I don't know. We farmed this piece of ground a long time, real local to me. Dad has known the tractor for a long time. I believe the current owners, it's on its second family. Let's go with that. And there is another tractor there. I think hopefully we can get the deal closed on, and a threshing machine that is kind of just going to be for decoration. But real short drive this morning. This could be an on again, off again video, because I think this tractor is going to need a little bit of work, and it's a little bit complicated just because of the fuel it runs on. But yeah, we're gonna go up there, pull in the yard, and hopefully get tires aired and see what we got to deal with. Well, here's what we're in for. It's a Massey. You can probably see that. It's got a loader. You can see that. I see that one of the roof sheets is blown off, so it's about time I get this thing out of here before it gets water down in the motor and locks the motor up. I think the motor's actually stuck, but I've loosened up motors. It's just been sitting. I honestly have never seen this tractor run. And we used to haul a lot of grain out of these bins here when I was, 5, 6, 7 years old, and I've never seen it move. So, yeah, we're gonna go 25 plus years. I'm 31, so it's been here a while. It's a Massey. It is a Massey 180, but it's an odd duck because it's a propane. Now, I don't know if it's factory propane or it's a dealer conversion, but it's pretty well done. This tractor, you can see it's got a dual, I think 300 loader on it. That'll come off pretty fast. I'm not really into loaders on tractors, as you guys probably know by now. But yeah, dual 300. The grill's a little messed up on it because it's been a loader tractor. All your typical stuff. Propane here, sold new in Almena at a Short Hardware and Implement right on Main Street. So very, very local tractor. Reads 2,293 hours. That could be original. Knowing the tractor, it spent most of its life south of our farm, 1/2 mile, and then moved up here northwest of our farm when that guy retired. And then the other owner retired. The current ownership's grandpa retired, and it's just been parked since. I think it's the way that works. Yeah. So, but she's nothing special by any means, besides the fact it's propane, which makes it a very, very rare configured tractor, if that is a propane Massey, because it's not listed on like tractor data or anything. But I know there's a couple of these that are propane out in existence. You just really don't run into them very often. But obviously, there's your propane fill and stuff like that. Not very conveniently placed by any means to fill this thing. But, yeah, she's pretty simple old girl. Where's the gauge on this thing? Do you have any propane left in it? Looks like it's got over half a tank of propane. So if I get the motor loose, it might actually run. But I know the motor I'm pretty sure is stuck, if I remember correctly, just from sitting. So we'll take it back to the farm, pull spark plugs, and soak them. And I might actually just ditch this loader before I even put it in the shop, because I really don't want to deal with it. It's a little bit of a cluster to get it out of here, so I can't really go that way. And there's a building right here behind it, so you kind of got to weave it out that direction. I can move those grain aeration tubes out of the way. We got frost falling off the trees this morning, but a 3-point PTO pump that runs the loader. Yeah, seat shot. See, the side panels aren't on it, but I bet they're around here somewhere. If not, I can probably come up with some. But definitely a cool, locally sold tractor that hasn't really ever left Norton County, and rare too, honestly. A pretty rare little tractor that you just don't see a ton of. See a lot of 180s. I see quite a few 180s, most of them diesel, just because Massey really pushed diesel stuff back then. But a propane one's really odd. And if this isn't a factory LP 180 Massey, the conversion was done at a dealer in Almena when it was new, I would bet. Propane was actually pretty popular with a lot of the farmers around here back in the day. So it's not uncommon to run into propane stuff at all for us. I just kind of usually avoid it unless it's on a cool tractor, and this is a cool tractor. I guess I'll lay out air hose and air up tires and kind of move some junk out of the way that's piled up around here, so I can hopefully get it pulled out of this shed and back to the farm. Well, good news, all 4 tires took air. Back tires still have calcium in them, but haven't leaked all over the place, so that's a miracle. Front's held air. Tractor sits up higher now that it's got air in all 4 tires. But yeah, I've got the chain hooked to my pickup. We're just gonna bump it, see if I can pull it a little ways. Gonna have to figure out how to get the loader up. I'll have to probably get a handyman jack in here and stick a piece of angle iron in or something to keep it up, but we can figure that out. That's nothing new, but we'll just try to drag it back a little ways. Shed without too much drama. Need to get the loader up now before I can winch it on a trailer, but that's a pretty straight old girl minus the grill, which I can probably with some patience get straightened out. Not the first mesh grill I've had to straighten, but yeah, pretty excited for this one. Local tractor, pretty rare being on LP. Be fun to make run. Get some co-op almost like trailer tires or implement tires on the front. Goodyears are on the back are 15.5 38s on power adjust rims. Pretty normal Massey stuff, but I don't know, I like it. But I like Massey stuff, so we kind of knew that, didn't we? We're gonna find some angle iron and a jack and try to get this loader up in the air. Then maybe later today, once I get a trailer unloaded, I can winch this sucker on, take it back to the farm, ditch the loader, and then I can actually work on it nicely, because I don't really care to work around this loader. And I doubt he cares if the loader's on it anymore. But it is kind of cool with the loader too. So can't forget about that. Pretty slick though. Still need to do some more searching around in buildings here for the side panels though, because those would be darn nice to have, and battery covers there at least, so I don't have to worry about tracking one of those down. Never seen somebody put a dual loader like this on a Massey 180, and I got to say, it doesn't fit that great. It sure probably made it absolutely no fun to get on and off, but I guess. I don't know, that propane tank there looks pretty factory to me, but what do I know? I mean, the cuts there aren't bad at all by any means, but maybe there's a dealer installed deal. They did it short hardware in town. I don't know. It's pretty odd, to say the least. Let's open this up and see if we can see cut marks on the inside. I mean, that doesn't say I've been cut at a dealership. There's no like line or anything like that. Like the paint around the edge here is real good, so I don't know. It could be factory. I mean, this is all real nice too and rolled for the propane tank. So I'd bet it's original. I really would. I've been wrong though, but I really want to see this thing run. I did pull a dipstick here and it's got good oil in it. A little overfull, but that's okay. Hopefully I can get her loosened up, and hopefully there's not water in the oil pan or anything like that. We'll get her where we can maybe drive it around. Use it. Starting to like this propane stuff, unfortunately. It seems like a bad addiction for me. But anyways, I'm hop in my pickup back to the yard. Well, we're gonna try to winch this thing on. It's sitting kind of on an interesting incline here, so hopefully this doesn't get too hairy, but biggest thing was just getting the loader up high enough, which I did with an angle iron, but I had to get the bucket curled back too, and that was a little bit of a bastard. But I need to get the wheels straightened up, it looks like. Just go straight on. I probably got to crawl up on there, because once I go up over the top, I need to stop. So hopefully the brakes work. Going pretty straight. Looks like I need to go turn the wheels to the left a little bit. It'll be a lot easier to steer this thing once it's up. Front tires are up on the wood and not. Yeah, we gotta go left hard. Dang. I was hoping I could get just a little bit further. Put the camera down, but it's up on there. It's in gear, so it's not gonna move anywhere unless the motor starts miraculously turning very easily. I'm gonna get chains on the front and back and get back to the yard. At least that was uneventful, right? Well, it rolled back off easy. I kind of parked myself on an incline. That way I could just kind of roll her off the back end. And I had thought about this some more, 8 lunch and stuff like that. This thing's about got to be factory with the cutout there. I mean, how could it not be? No way a dealer could make that look that good unless it's a dealer installed hood side or something, but I don't know. It just looks pretty factory to me. But I'm gonna pop spark plugs out of this motor. My dog's barking at the cat. Pop spark plugs out and put ATF down the cylinders. Off camera though, that way you guys don't call EPA on me when I spill ATF everywhere. And yeah, you probably get video tomorrow, a separate video of me retrieving a tractor I've been meaning to go get for like 6 months or more. But that'll be tomorrow, and we'll be back to this soon too, I hope. Just gonna let this thing soak with ATF in the cylinders, hopefully free this thing up, and then figure out a way to bar it over. Plugs out, and all those look pretty good. No real giant rust on or anything like that, so that makes me pretty hopeful. Nothing too bad down the holes, but you don't know until you know. So unless I have a borescope, which I don't, but we're gonna grab a funnel, put ATF in the cylinders, and leave her sit for a day or two. Let her soak. No real rush here. Like I said a minute ago, this tractor sold years and years ago, half-mile south of here on the old boys over the hill that direction. Guy had a farm. The day of the sale, my grandpa was the auctioneer, so pretty cool. And then neighbor bought it that dad farmed for a long time, and the guy was still farming at the time and bought this tractor for like a yard tractor. And then you know, he moved into town in the late 80s after the big blizzard of 86. Would have been probably the last time this thing ran. So I was born in 93, so we're creeping up on 40 years since this thing ran. But real cool to see, and we're gonna make a run again. Just, you know, one of those tractors that local stuff is the winner. But I'm gonna put ATF in the cylinders. Don't call the EPA when I spill, please. Last little bit before I quit here and go to town. Looking at the battery, because most of the time batteries have dates on them. That is November of 7, so 1987 would be my guess on when this was last out and running. So it's been a hell of a long time. 39 years. Yeah. Okay, new day. We're back with the 180. I actually just got done going to Colby and back to get a tractor. We're back on this, so you can watch the video of the tractor I got in Colby. I don't know what order I'm doing this in. Meh. Might be before this. I don't know. But tried to put a ratchet, breaker bar, and socket on the crank bolt. Couldn't turn it, but was able to pull off the bell housing access cover and put a bar on the back side of the clutch. There's a nice little teeth to grab hold of, and actually able to bar the motor over, and it covered me in oil. And with that, that means the motor on this 180 Massey is now loose. I'm gonna go back around and take my wrench and try to spin the crank 360, maybe more, just, you know, work the ATF out of it, because she's got a lot of ATF in it. Just work that out of it, and then probably try to throw a battery in it and clean the points and pray to whatever God I decide, and we'll see if it runs. But for now, we're gonna go put this ratchet and breaker bar back on, ratchet and socket back on the crank bolt, and just rotate it through. Make sure it goes 360. About to have a turf war. Gem's a wuss. Blue goes hard. But back to Exxon Valdez here. Took some doing. I had to go both ways a few times, but it spins 360 degrees well. Now, next step is put a battery in it. Hopefully the electrical works. It doesn't look too fiddled with, but Massey's like neutral safety switches and neutral on, yeah, maybe a clutch pedal down too. I don't quite remember. Hopefully we can make this thing spin, clean out all the ATF, and then we'll worry about points. Okay, battery from 1987 is off. It's an old battery. So I got this Econo Power installed, so I'm gonna stand back and try to crank. Gotta remember what button is where though. Man. It's not there. That's just on off. Walk around the other side and see if we can find the starter button. Which one? Which one? Oh, let's crawl up here. That's choke, throttle. That's fuse. That's in neutral, that's in neutral. Dang. Starter button. That is not it. That's the choke. Pretty sure. Huh. Give me a minute. Okay, I wasn't crazy. That is the starter. It's just maybe a little messed up. So we're gonna have to go jump it down there and try not to get covered in ATF while it happens. Okay, playing with the starter some more. The solenoid engages, but the starter doesn't spin. So might have to order a starter, and I'll show you why shortly. See how slow that's spinning? I can like jump start the starter, but I have to press the solenoid in and then push on the clutch with that bar, and then it'll spin. So it's spinning over, but that isn't right. We do have spark, but there is about zero chance it starts like that. So maybe tomorrow I can get my dad to help me. We'll full start this thing, but that starter's trash. A few days later. Okay, it's Wednesday now. Last video I did on the 180 Massey was Thursday, when I basically said the starter was junk. So I did some research and got one ordered from Allstate Ag Parts. It came in here a little bit ago. Between then and now, I was sick for 2 days, and then been working on some other stuff, you know, just life. I always have other stuff to work on. So now we're finally going to get back to this and get that new starter installed. Word of warning, probably not going to video the starter install because the wind is howling like 20 mile an hour. It is Western Kansas, and if I video it, somebody will complain about my audio. So we're just not going to do it. I'm going to install the starter, and we'll see if it starts. And the audio is going to suck because the wind's blowing and I'm using my phone. I'm sorry, I forgot to charge my GoPro. So that's what we're going to do, and hopefully this little thing runs and drives today. Okay, all the plugs are back in it. I'm going to set this down off here so it doesn't fall down. Vapors are on. I'm going to crawl up in the seat and see if we can get her to fire. Let's hope, right? Little throttle, choke. Huh. More throttle. Okay, I ended up cracking the line on the side of the carburetor, so, and I do have vapors there, I guess is the way to say that, so, yeah. One more throttle, maybe? I don't know. Huh. Fired for a second there. I'll play with it some more. Huh. Pops for a second. Weird. Well, that took some doing. I think there was air in the fuel line, if that makes sense. And now it's just burning all that ATF off that was in the cylinders. But the motor is really, really quiet, which is amazing. Oil pressure is bad. I mean, real bad. Maybe, hopefully the gauge doesn't work. I don't see the tach coming on. Generator's not doing much. So I don't know there. We're gonna let it idle here for a minute. Feel the exhaust smells a little funky, but what are you gonna do there? We're spraying antifreeze. Oh no, that's on the bottom of the exhaust being cold. Oh, it's just ATF. That ATF burning off is making for some weird smells. Let's just go with that. But it is running. Woohoo! Now, next question. Is the PTO turning? It is not. Okay, let's see if let's unhook that stuff. A little hazy still, but again, still burning ATF off, but it does run. Don't see major leaks anywhere. We have power steering. PTO is not in here, so something tells me the PTO clutch is worthless. Let's try putting her in gear and driving it though. Okay, we are moving. Still no oil pressure. I'm just going to assume that gauge doesn't work because you can hear it banging and clanging. It wasn't building oil pressure, to be honest. This is strong. Right here. Shut the tractor off, put the PTO in gear. And now it's not when the crank's back up. Oh, it's because I'm in gear. The starter is kind of grabby. PTO pump is very clanky. Will the loader do anything? Oh, there's going something. Okay, curl on the bucket is working. How will it go up? There's something there. It might honestly need some oil in it. Okay, well, I'm going to undo the boomer on the bucket curl. Let this thing idle some more. It's starting to smoke less and less all the time. Probably better go find some antifreeze for it though. Well, it's live. I ended up playing with this thing, trying to get the loader up and whatnot. I ended up blowing a line on the curl, the bucket curl, but was able finally to get the hydraulics to lift the loader up, which is awesome. But it's sitting here running pretty good. I see it get a hydraulic drip right out of the bell housing area. What a shock. Probably a bad seal on the trans. input or something. Haven't seen if the 3-point goes up and down here. I know the PTO works because that's what powers a loader. And I can tell you what, next video we're taking this loader off because damn, it's junk. Up, down. I don't know. We're gonna have to play the PTO more, or the 3-point more, because it ain't doing nothing. Transport, put it right there. It might come up, it might not. I genuinely don't know, but it is running. It's very quiet. I mean, very, very. I should shut my pickup off actually, so I don't have to listen to it. Okay, pickup's off. Now we can actually hear this thing. Very, very quiet little tractor. Ended up putting like 1.5 gallons of coolant in it, which isn't bad for something that's been sitting. It's definitely firing on all 4. But she's just sitting here humming. If you have this panel and the one on the other side, get a hold of me, send me an email, or get a hold of me on social medias. I'd like some to match this. I want used with fairly good paint to match this thing. I don't want perfect because that would look out of place. I guess if you had a good used grill, I might be interested in that. I'm gonna try to straighten that one. I need this panel, and there should be a silver panel that goes right here. I need 2. But yeah, loader's up enough that we can at least drive it around. Next video, we will definitely be taking this loader off because I do not want it on here at all. I have loader tractors, good ones. Don't need this loader. But I guess the loader is probably for sale. It's a do-all with the farmhand bucket, with the farmhand grapple. Probably have to have about $750 out of it just because it's got the grapple and everything with it. But yeah, let's take this thing for a spin here. Sorry about the wind. There is not much I can do about it because it's just blowing today. It does not currently shift into 2nd or 3rd gear because the linkage is gummed up, normal Massey things. But we'll put her in high first. Let's take her for a nice, easy stroll here. Something. Must have an air pocket in the fuel. I don't know. If we have problems, who's really shocked? Got hard there for a second. I don't think the multi-power is working. Again, who's surprised? Dang it, idle's nice and low. Definitely gonna need an oil change. I know I see I need to take the hood off. There's a mouse nest up right underneath here, so that'll have to come off at some time. But yeah, that's a rare tractor. We talked to a buddy. He seems to think he saw in a book that this is like one of 32. And Mike would probably know. Hopefully he sends me pictures of that book and we can dig more into that later. Set the loader down so we can see the tractor better. But there she is. That is a runner. Massey 180 propane. Sold new at Shorts in town. Ended up a half mile south of here when it sold new. My grandpa sold it on that guy's auction. Ended up a mile and a half north of here. And then now it's here, I guess. So we're gonna take the loader off this thing sometime. Probably, I don't think I'll pocket any money off this loader. I'll probably just hand him, the owner of this tractor, the cash for it. Since we haven't really struck a deal on it, he said just go do what you want with it. And since we farm for him, it's kind of whatever. We get along really well with him. Need to mess with the 3-point more, see if we can get that working. See if we can figure out the multi-power, service the whole thing, figure out the leak coming out of the belly right there. And obviously wash it because it's very dirty. But I am very tickled with this one. Just a good local tractor that I'm happy to see run again for the first time in probably 35 years. Pretty badass that it is up and running again, I would say. What a deal. Well, that'll be it for this one, guys. It acts like it's about to get cold here again, so I better go get cows fed because I'm gone all day tomorrow to an auction, which hopefully I take my GoPro on and get video of that. There's a couple cool tractors they're selling, so you'll see that. But I'm on all the social medias as at TMontyIH. My website is territorialtrading.com. I have quite a few new, like 40 pieces of John Deere new in box toys I just added to the website. So check those out if you're interested in that sort of thing. Lots of other brands too. But that'll be it for this one, guys. Thanks for tuning in once again. Go drag something out of the weeds and get it running.